Dude, a comment and a question. Fire away. You want to wear your jersey from yesterday's Eric Lindros Celebrity Hockey Classic, and I think that's really sweet.
Thank you very much. That's nice of you.
That was a comment. The question is, this is the one you wore, isn't it?
Little ripe, eh?
You're just such a pal. Thanks for that.
Hi! Victory Puppy!
I have no idea what I'm doing.
This team is ruining my life! Victory Puppies, boys! Alright, there's a bang-in goal, and you stay right there. Stay right there. Morgan Riley, here we go. Oh yeah, buddy! And you get 2 for letting Daddy sleep in this morning. Thank you. Thank you for that. Leafs win 6-1 over the New Jersey Devils.
That was for Scott Clemenson.
That's the psyche of a Leafs fan, by the way. The Devils actually beat the Leafs in a bunch of playoff series, but the thing I actually hold against them,
Starting Scott Clemenson against Wade Dublowitz, are you joking?
but really, if they made the playoffs that year, they wouldn't have learned anything, so thank you. Hey, I want to start with a Devils fans if I were you, because I've been getting tweets from you all morning, and you seem a little down. That horrific loss to the Senators, which was all the way back on Tuesday, I think it was 7-3. Then you get this one, this 6-1, almost 7-1 loss against the Toronto Maple Leafs on a Friday. So basically, your whole week's been brutal. Corey Schneider gets let up by the Sens, and you go, alright, well, he's just coming back. But then you get Keith Kincaid just getting slaughtered by the Leafs. Not to mention Pavel Zacha getting sent down, which, okay, he didn't have any points. If you want to develop him, he should be an important part of your organization. I suppose, fine. But then to be like, and we're promoting Curtis Gabriel. What? And what's funny, I was about to look at the box score to be like, wow, he only played this much. What was the point? I'm looking at it now. He didn't even play. Did they call up someone else? I hope so. Tell me Zacha wasn't sent down for someone who's a healthy scratch. Look, Devils fans, if I were you, burn the footage of this week. You can blame it on the goalies, for sure, but the team was not good. But Corey Schneider is just coming back from injury. You know, it might take him a little while. And Keith Kincaid has been fantastic. He just laid an egg, which will happen. The sooner you forget about this week, the better. That's what I would do if I were you. Which, the If I Were You segment is flawed, because I'm basically giving you advice on what I think the best course of action would be for you mentally. But literally, if I were you, I'd be yelling and screaming! But who looks at me and goes, well, that's the healthiest choice I can make for myself. Anyway, that was depressing. Leafs fans. Hey! That was awesome! Like, the Leafs have a really good record this season. What is it, 11-5 now? But that was the first, like, real butt-kicking they laid on someone. And deserved. Deserved the whole way. Ignore the shots, 39-32 in favor of the Devils. The Leafs owned that game. To start, the Leafs were ahead for basically the whole game. And when the game was tied, the Leafs completely outplayed the Devils in the first. They outshot them 15-7. Leafs got up 3-0. They let the Devils back into the game a little bit, so they did buckle a bit. But I wonder how much of that was the Leafs not being that good, the Devils getting better, and also the Leafs turning off the gas because they gotta play again the next night. If you look up and down the box score from last night, that's exactly what it looked like happened. Up front, all of the top 6 saw at least a slight decrease in ice time, and all the bottom 6 saw a little bit of a boost. And on defense, there was a lot of gamesmanship too. Riley and Gardner were about what they usually are, but Dermott up near 20 minutes? That's really rare. Hainsey's still around 18 minutes. Hard to find this guy rest, but holy smokes, that might have been his best game of the season. And talking about this game, I gotta make this video shorter. I just have no choice. The guys are coming over in almost an hour, so somehow I gotta edit this. We're gonna do a podcast, plus the Leafs played tonight. So let's go! Now, it's hilarious Mitch Marner didn't get a point in this one because he was so good in this game, arguably the Leafs' best player. He was so good in the first, and he doesn't get an assist on the first goal, but part of it is due to his gravitational pull. He's carrying the puck through the slot, he takes a shot on net, and everyone's following him because they should. He's Mitch Marner. Rebound squirts to Riley. Riley throws it to the point to Hainsey, and this made me nervous because Hainsey is standing dead still. He's a little deep in the zone for my liking, and Riley is on his way back, but he's got a Devil with him. With 2 Devils attackers looking at Hainsey, this is a block shot away from a 3-on-1 for New Jersey, but Hainsey, quickly computing, goes, wait a sec, if I shoot it, it's a 3-on-1 for New Jersey. But maybe as Ron Hainsey, I should take advantage of the fact that they have 2 guys guarding Ron Hainsey. Beautiful pass to a wide open John Tavares, thank you. You know the deal, 91, gets his 9th, puts the Leafs up 1-0, he's a Leaf, it's the best. And what's great is if Tavares missed it, Marner would have been right behind him and the play would have just kept going. I don't know what the Devils were doing in this sequence. And despite outshooting the Devils 15-7 in the first, the Leafs only head to the second period with a 1-0 lead. Dude, forget the shots. Go watch the highlights on Sportsnet's YouTube channel. The Leafs killed the Devils in the first, scoring chance after scoring chance, at least half a dozen. And Janssen, oh, you see the look on his face after that breakaway. Oh, he's gotta get one, please. Second period, Patrick Marleau's an interesting figure in Leafs Nation right now. He's actually a growing source of debate. Has he maybe lost a step? Well, you know what? He hasn't lost enough of a step that if you make mistakes, he's not gonna take advantage of it. First goal was Ron Hainsey leading the play, getting an assist. The second goal was Patrick Marleau reading the play and getting an assist. Will Butcher takes way too much time. Marleau butchers him, takes the puck, sends it over to Kadri, shoots and ooh, you watch the replay and you want to go, oh, Kadri with the snipe, no. And you know what? It was a nice shot, but the most impressive part to me was Kadri batting it out of the air and the time between batting it out of the air and getting the shot off. I just think in the NHL, you gotta stop that. Wide open and completely unguarded, granted, but oh boy. And I love him. He's still, yeah. One, because he likes scoring goals. Two, because his team has a 2-goal lead and you know he likes that. But also, he doesn't feel the least bit bad for Kincaid. But the amount that Kadri struggled to score in the first 2 weeks, like this is just karma coming back. And by karma, I mean his shooting percentage was bound to go up. His 5th of the season, and realistically, he's probably roughly where he should be now. And once again, the Leafs quick to score in the second, less than 2 minutes in. I'd argue for the past few years, the second period has been like the Leafs' worst. So the Devils start to press, they're banging away, they don't know where the puck is, Anderson's there, Kadri's in the net, like, I'm a forward, a painter, and a goalie. The very next play, puck heads down the other way. Hainsey, beautiful cross-zone pass right to Per Lindholm. Lindholm in front of Connor Brown. Oh, forget Kadri. Brown couldn't score, now he can't stop scoring. Beautiful tic-tac-toe play. 3-0 Leafs. Devils buzzing, Devils attacking, Freddie turning aside shots. The Leafs seem to recover the puck, but Blake Coleman with a hell of a shift because the Devils. In the chaos, it squirts to Travis Zajac, shoots, scores. Uh-oh. My comment on the game, as Leafs fans, we gotta stop doing that uh-oh. Because heading into this game, I believe the Leafs were 5-0 when scoring first this season, which, can you believe it was only 5 times? After this game, I think it's 6. Like, they haven't goofed it up yet. Jeez, I shouldn't even say yet. Yes, they have been prone to giving up leads in the past. Yeah, they've given up a bunch of shots this season. Yeah, they've given up a bunch of goals. They're not exactly defensive stalwarts, but when they get the lead, they usually do a pretty good job of defending it. All their concerns of the defense aside. Freddie's a big part of it, but when he's playing almost every game, yeah. And another thing, the Leafs definitely have this extra killer instinct building in them. You can tell. Kapanen having easily the best season of his life. If he doesn't play a game for the rest of the season, best season of his life. And it's only November. He gets a breakaway, can't get a shot off, but the Devils defender almost pokes it into his own net. And still, after the play, camera right on Kapanen's face, and you can see he's like, nuts! For all you kids watching, that's what he said. He said nuts. They're not satisfied anymore. They're not just sitting back, although they did a little bit in this one. They don't want it. They want to keep going every night. That's what a winner's got to do. Or so I've read. I've never been alive for a Leafs Cup win, and my team went 0-3 yesterday. But puck finally going the other way. Gardner joining the rush. He takes a shot on Kincaid at stop. Rebound. Janssen bangs it in. And I love it especially because anyone who watched the Marlies closely last year, you know if Jansson's going to get out of this, if he's finally going to score a goal, that's how. I think he's got to be playing on the second power play unit every night. He's got to be that net front presence. Once Nylander gets back, I think it's going to make Janssen so much more dangerous, not just because of the depth, but what he's going to bring on the power play. He is JVR light. He's JVR, but faster, younger, and a little bit more skilled, if I'm honest. Probably not as good in front of the net because almost no one is as good in front of the net as JVR. That was his one big thing. But holy mackerel, is Janssen so good in that role. He's a feisty, tenacious net front presence. And for a guy who plays a relatively beautiful game, scores a lot of ugly goals. Good for him. He deserves it. Maybe his best game of the season. He's been playing way better recently. That whole line. And Lindholm too with 2 apples in this one. Can we stop being so down on Per Lindholm? I think he's been great. Before the end of the second, Marleau doing great work just to be a nuisance, making it difficult for the Devils to get out of their zone. Riley stops the puck at the blue line. Hey, why don't I take a garbage shot and go for a line change? Fires it on. And Keith Kincaid like, sorry guys, I'm lagging. Sorry. Is someone downloading something upstairs? Stop! Oh, his reaction said it all. What a game. And man, it's just been that kind of start for Morgan Riley. Everything's going in. And in a fit of maybe the most Canadian thing I've ever seen, Morgan Riley apologized for scoring mid-game. Like, the Devils scored 3 goals, which is not out of the question. They're an NHL team and a pretty good one at that. If they scored 3 goals, that's the game-winning goal. Don't apologize, man. Freddie holding the fort. The puck finally goes the other way. Tyler Ennis. Oh, that's a great shot by Ennis, but just another one that can't go in the NHL. A little bit like Kuznetsov's power play goal from earlier this year, and that was against Anderson, but again, it was on the power play, and instead of having this much to shoot at, Ennis had like this. Marleau's high stick goal, I don't care that it didn't count. And the whole rest of the way, I think Ray said it best during the game, That is a confident looking goaltender. Just glove save, like, I don't blame you for trying, but you probably shouldn't have. And he's from Denmark. He's not apologizing for nothing. That's an attribute of the Danes, right? I don't know. And the Leafs win 6-1. Let's hurry this up with questions.
Will you buy Avantgarde's jersey of Nylander?
That's a great question, Igor. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. You must have sensed that I'm in a good mood and you thought, how can I ruin this? Thanks for that, Igor! Actually, geez, in my haste, I just realized I forgot to talk about the Hall of Fame at all. You know what? I'm just gonna have to do that tomorrow. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm just really pressed for time today. One thing I will say is I was watching and going, Jana Hefford, I faced her shot. I did not stop it. Why do the Devils suck? Devils fan, I see. Look, the good thing about that question is you can ask it and be a little confused, because I remember a few years ago, it was like, why do the Leafs suck? And the answer was, oh, because they do. With the Devils, at least there's something to figure out, right? I think they showed in the third that they have it in them. All they needed was a few saves. The Leafs got some, the Devils did not. And last but not least, hi Steve, first time caller, long time listener. Mine is a two-parter. How good is your long-term memory? And two, are you a man of your word? So very briefly, and I'll get into it a lot more next video, but here's what happened. In a stream months ago, unfortunately you guys have a good memory, I said that if someone donates $5,000 or more to my hockey team who is doing it in support of Easter seals, if you give me $5,000 or more, I'll eat a bell pepper on live stream. Now, if you know me, I hate peppers! Hot peppers are great. Bell peppers, for some reason, make me want to vomit. I'm thinking about it right now and my throat is closing. Then yesterday, after we had already played a game, this is like when we're having lunch, someone named Mike Schmidt, I don't know who this person is, someone donated $10,000. That brought my total up to, I think now it's at $32,000. I was the top fundraiser for the whole thing because of that donation. I guess I'm eating a pepper. Really not looking forward to it. I'm not doing it today, all right? I'm doing it eventually. I'm too busy right now. I'm gonna do it though, okay? Here I am saying it. Shut up and don't bug me about it. I'm gonna do it. I'm not looking forward to it. Quickly before the end of the video, from the bottom of my heart, I'm blown away. Absolutely blown away. We were raising money for Easter Seals. I told you about that. It's a charity for kids with physical disabilities. And Rachel's Raiders, which was my team. Here we go. Here we go. There's Rachel's Raiders remix. There's that jersey. And here's the other one. We had two teams. We had enough people for two teams. This is unbelievable. Rachel's Raiders, both teams combined, raised about $55,000. Easter Seals has camps for kids with physical disabilities, and I don't know how much that costs. I know a motorized wheelchair is about $3,500. I was talking to my mom yesterday. My sister's wheelchair, which isn't even motorized, was like $2,000. So with your donations to Rachel's Raiders alone, you've donated like 30 wheelchairs. I'm gonna go ahead and stop before I get emotional. Maybe I'll save that for tomorrow. That is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Brand new Panicle Pizza Steve Dangle podcast today, like in a few hours. Hopefully I can edit this video in time. I'm sorry it's not as long as it usually is, but it is what it is. I played 4 hockey games yesterday. I'm bagged. We'll talk about that on the podcast.